This road doesn't look like much at first. Just another dirt trail winding through the mountains above Creede, Colorado. But hidden up here is the story of one of the richest silver strikes in the state. Today, we're taking our 2024 Colorado ZR2 alongside our friend's full-size Ram 1500 to see if the Bachelor Loop still holds up, not just as a trail, but as a journey back in time. The Bachelor Loop is a 17-mile historic drive that winds through mining camps, abandoned towns, and some of the most rugged terrain around Creede, Colorado. As we left Creede and started climbing into this canyon that led us further into the mountains themselves, it was easy to think that this was just another Colorado scenic road. And that's where we were wrong, because this canyon is so amazing that it changes everything. In 1891, a prospector named Nicholas Creede made a discovery here, and almost overnight, this quiet valley turned into one of the last great silver booms in Colorado. Within months, thousands of people flooded into this canyon: miners, merchants, gamblers, and of course families, all of them chasing one thing: silver. And what made this place so valuable and special and unlike other places wasn't just the silver itself. It was how much of it that there was. During the high times, some of these mines were producing millions of dollars in ore. And at that time, that was the kind of money that could build an entire town overnight. Before you know it, you will be at one of the most famous features here, and that is this roadway tunnel. And this tunnel isn't just a cool feature, it was actually infrastructure. It was meant to move ore, equipment, and people. And through this canyon that barely allows for space for a road, it's pretty impressive. And if you've made it this far, you've almost completed the black pitch. And after walking up the road to get footage, trust me, I was breathing pretty heavy through here. This steep section of road is called the black pitch. The turn just below here was often called the boneyard or dead horse flats by early miners. Rough wagon wheel locks sometimes broke and loaded wagons would push horses and mules to their death. The wrecked wagons and dead animals were burned to clear the way for other wagons coming up and down, only leaving ashes and bones. And as you can imagine, the wintertime was even worse with all that ice and snow. Once you reach the top, if you look back down the canyon, you will see the remnants of the historic rotary tram towers against the skyline, and of course, that tunnel you just went through. Not much further ahead is town site number 4 on the map, known as Weaver Town Site. Sadly, not much of Weaver remains today, but several hundred people once lived here. Weaver City sprung up from the base of the richest producing mine of the boom era, the Amethyst and Last Chance. The second building next to the road was a livery which housed some of the animals that worked in the mine. But personally, I think that this area is better seen from above. So, cue that drone. This area is filled with the remnants of the mining operations, and they are quite literally carved into the cliffs before you. It's in places that almost feel impossible to reach. No modern machines built this. There were no easy roads, just hand tools, dynamite, and a whole lot of risk and willpower. So this wasn't just a mining area. This was one of the most important silver districts in Colorado and in Colorado history. After leaving the famous Amethyst mine site, you'll continue up the road, and you'll have decisions to make here. If you want to go into other areas, you can, or you can continue on the Bachelor Loop. For this video, we continued on the Bachelor Loop. Please note that if you want to do any of these side roads, they do require a high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle and are not recommended for passenger cars. We will be doing these trails this coming summer, hopefully, is our plan, so we can share those with you then. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you're liking it so far, so you don't miss any of our future adventures coming up. Soon after that cross point, you will reach the Midwest Mine. And what's really neat about this site is you're no longer just looking at history, because you can go and stand in it. This area was part of a real mining community, not just shafts and tunnels, but homes, workspaces, and where people tried to build a life. As for the mine itself, it's rather interesting. A tunnel was driven in search of the Big Chief vein, although the vein was never found. But some high-grade ore was encountered, and no ore was ever shipped from this mine. So it seems like there's a lot of infrastructure for something that never actually had ore from it. Kind of an interesting fact here, huh?
Everybody need to use it. There's no toilet. Hole.
Just a hole. You can squat. Be fine. And here is where our trip takes a detour. Instead of continuing on the Bachelor Loop in the way that most people do it, we decided that we wanted a little more adventure. So when we reached Allen's Crossing, we decided that we were going to take the alternate 4x4 route to West Willow and Rat Creek. Now this area does have some mines along the way, but this is a 4x4 road and it provides access to the upper portions of West Willow Creek and of course Rat Creek drainage, which is to the Continental Divide. Now please note that this is a Jeep trail, but it offers a spectacular view of alpine scenery and vegetation, along with various forms of wildlife depending on the season you come. Honestly, as far as a 4x4 road goes, it does get narrow in some places, but from our experience on this trail it's nothing too hard, and as long as you're careful with your tire placements, a stock 4x4 vehicle should be fine. I do think that having 4-low for gearing is helpful in some sections. Now on the way to the Continental Divide overlook, you will notice Equity Mine. The first record of this mine and mill was recorded in 1902, but the first production wasn't actually until 1912. Production continued off and on until almost the 1970s. The mine was reopened by Helka Mining Company in 2012 and is actually closed to the public, but you can view it from afar. As we climbed higher onto the loop, the views started to open up, and so does your perspective about this area. Down below, you've got Creede, a town that exists today because everything that happened here. And up here, you've got the remains of the industry that built it. And of course the views of the mountains that make this whole thing possible. As you near the top, you realize how much our trucks feel at home here. The ZR2 handles it like a champ. I know that Drew was feeling it in his Ram a little bit, but that's only because he had airbags on for his camper, but it was an amazing drive either way. Before you know it, you are at the epic viewpoint that is totally worth this extra drive on this loop. Once you reach this point, you have reached an elevation of 12,850 feet, and of course, 360-degree views. Right here, the water splits, flowing to completely different parts of the country. And looking across this landscape, it's hard to believe that this quiet, remote place had one of the busiest mining regions below it in the entire state. Thousands of people working, living their lives in these mountains, and most of that was hidden underground. After enjoying the Continental Divide overlook, you'll continue the way you came and you'll join up with Rat Creek. Now this loop is rather bouncy, so I do recommend airing down your tires for a more comfortable ride. There will be several little shelfy spots, but they're nothing too major, and you'll see some old mining equipment along the way. Now before you join back up with the main Bachelor Loop, the trail does narrow into the aspens quite a bit, so you'll want to be careful and maybe tuck your mirrors in if you are a wider vehicle. The Ram with us today had no issues with that, so if you're less wide than a Ram, you should be just fine in this section of trail. Once we joined up with the main loop, we decided that we had enough time to do one of the main attractions on the Bachelor Loop, which is, of course, the Last Chance Mine. Similar to Amethyst, Last Chance Mine was one of Creede's top producing silver mines in the 1890s. Several shafts are located in the area and they range from 1,000 to 1,500 feet deep. The mine was developed by a 1,400-foot incline shaft with 13 levels. That's a lot. And the ore bed on level 6 was up to 100 feet wide. That's a lot of ore. The original discovery of this site, it was producing as much as 1,500 ounces of silver per ton. Now this is the only part of the tour that isn't free, but you can take a tour inside the mine and it's 100% worth the price. They do offer different tours depending, so you want to check out their website for the details based on the season. We were lucky we got on the last tour of the day, and we were just thankful to have any tour that they were offering. We were on the short 15-minute tour, which showed us the main tunnel, the amethyst embedded into the wall, and of course the silver sulfide clay dome. One other person on our tour was able to convince our tour guide to also show us where the jail cell was. So that was a little bonus we got. I'm so thankful. I have been in a ton of mines over the years through our adventures, but this mine gave me a new appreciation for these miners. This mine was such large scale compared to some of the other ones in Colorado that you could almost imagine the terrible long days, working in tight, unstable tunnels, breathing in dust and listening to the rock shift around you, and every day still going deeper because you wanted to provide for your family. There was no comfort or safety, just opportunity. And honestly, driving this trail today, it gives you a whole new respect for what the people did back then. Getting back here, of course, was easy with modern vehicles like the ZR2 and the Ram, but could you imagine having to do what they did to get to this area with a wagon? The Bachelor Loop isn't just a scenic drive. It's really the reason this whole area of Colorado has any towns at all. Every mine, every road, every structure up here, it all ties back to a moment in time when people came to these mountains, risked everything, and built something out of it. And even now, more than 100 years later, you can still see it, and you can still feel it. If you enjoy trails like this, where there's real history behind every mile, stick around. We've got a lot more coming.